Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday morning, April 6th. A very active weather pattern continues across much of the nation. Soaking rain in the Mid-Atlantic region will wind down later on this morning. It's already kind of winding down in the D.C. metro region. Still raining in Philadelphia and still some heavy rain up across the New York City metro region. That system moves off the northeast coastline later today, and it is certainly not going to clear up for a long time behind it. It stays mostly cloudy this afternoon, and then more rain is on the way for the mid-Atlantic, for the northeast U.S. on Thursday and Thursday night as a strong cold front arrives. Even after that, it remains quite unsettled on Friday as Saturday. As we'll see in a moment here, a very strong upper-level system will move over the Mid-Atlantic region, over the northeast U.S., keeping it quite cool and unsettled on Friday night, and Saturday, with additional showers from time to time. And again, temperatures on those 2 days will be on the cool side. Big warm-up is coming to the eastern states next week, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Not only is there the soaking rain event going on in the northeastern quadrant of the nation today, but we have severe weather as a threat again down across the southeastern part of the nation, primarily focused on the region from Alabama to Georgia and up across Kentucky and Tennessee into the Tennessee Valley. The main culprit here is, again, we've talked about this repeatedly over the last several videos, that as long as we continue to have these cold air outbreaks from Canada into the U.S., we will continue to have severe weather outbreaks this time of the year. You have the increasingly strong sun boosting low-level atmospheric temperatures, and if you have cold, dry air pushing in from the north and the west, as we do today across the central plains towards the southeast U.S., and you have warm, humid air that generally pumps in from the Gulf of Mexico northward, you have a clash in the atmosphere, and indeed that is what is going on today. We'll take a look in a moment at the 850 millibar temperature anomalies, and you can see a colder than normal air mass now barreling towards the southeastern part of the nation, and hence another strong to severe thunderstorm outbreak possible later on today into tonight. And again, these severe weather outbreaks, which have been rather numerous over the last couple of weeks, will continue, unfortunately, for the next couple of weeks, as we will continue to have cold air outbreaks into the U.S. Well, here's the latest radar loop from the College of DuPage weather website for the northeastern part of the nation. It was a soaking rain event in the overnight hours from D.C. to the Delmarva to Philadelphia, now centered over New York City, northern New Jersey, and all of this will slowly drift off to the north and east over the next few hours, winding down. It will not clear out this afternoon in the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. It will stay mostly cloudy, maybe another shower or two. The steadiest, heaviest rain is already over in D.C., will end over the next couple of hours in the southeastern part of Pennsylvania, but will continue right through the morning in New York City. And as you can see with these radar echoes, certainly there can be some heavy rain at times across New Jersey, New York City, all the way up into upstate, southeastern part of New York State over the next several hours. Still a ways to go here across New Jersey, New York City in terms of the potential for some heavy rainfall. Well, let's now break down the 0Z run of the GFS, the operational version from last night's 0Z run. Again, a very active weather pattern continues here. We have cold air outbreaks, and we have multiple waves in the upper part of the atmosphere. We're looking at the 500 millibar vorticity field as depicted by the 0Z run of the GFS. Vorticity, kind of a spin in the atmosphere, a little rotation in the atmosphere leads to upward motion down at the surface level. And here we have one system right now over the Mid-Atlantic, over the northeast U.S. And again, some heavy rainfall still falling across New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania, New York City, and will continue to do so for the next couple of hours. And right on its heels, another very impressive wave right now centered over northern Minnesota. Strong cold front is associated with this wave of energy in the upper part of the atmosphere. So let's move forward. First system moves off the eastern seaboard by midday, early afternoon, and then tension turns to the next system. And there may be, again, a diminishing of the rainfall this afternoon and evening, but by late tonight and tomorrow morning in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, for example, The rain threat will rise again rather quickly as this system right here, a strong cold front, as of Thursday morning, lies over the Ohio Valley, and it pushes right into the eastern states. And watch what happens to that upper level low. Here we are now by midday on Friday. Very large area of an upper level. This is kind of a large scale upper level trough, and it just parks itself right here by the time we get to late Friday night, into the day on Saturday. When you have that kind of an upper level trough in the atmosphere, 500 millibars, combined with colder than normal air in the upper part of the atmosphere, you have unstable conditions this time of the year. So expect the possibility of more showers in the Mid-Atlantic region, in the Northeast U.S., let's say Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and then again on Saturday with all this instability in the atmosphere. Once we get by, let's say Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, a ridge will start to assert itself first in the Ohio Valley come the end of the upcoming weekend, and then it shifts into the eastern U.S. Here we are seeing kind of a ridge popping up here in the eastern U.S. and it'll turn much milder on Monday, for example, compared to Sunday in the Mid-Atlantic region, and then even warmer, probably the 70s by the time we get to Tuesday of next week, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, and again, a big-time warm-up coming to the eastern U.S. next week. Well, let's now take a look at the 850 millibar temperatures, and we talked earlier about the threat of severe weather today across the southeast U.S., up across the Tennessee Valley, and again, the main culprit continues to be warm, humid air rising to the north from the Gulf of Mexico and cold air pressing in from the north and west. I mean, this is a classic setup, and it has repeated itself over the last couple of weeks. The cold air diving into the south and east, warm air coming off the Gulf of Mexico this morning into the southeast U.S. And here is your clash zone and your possibility of some strong to even potentially severe thunderstorms later today and tonight. Let's move forward here, and we'll see these cold air outbreaks will continue for the next couple of weeks, and as long as they continue, severe outbreaks will continue. Here we are by the time we get to tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, quite a bit colder than normal across the Central Plains by the time we get to tomorrow morning. Still warmer, at least in the lower part of the atmosphere along the eastern seaboard on Thursday. Down at the surface level, will probably be below normal, but 5,000 feet aloft, 850 millibars, a little warmer than normal, but we still have plenty of clouds and some rainfall on Thursday, so it probably stays in the 50s in the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor, which is below normal for this time of the year. Then we get into the day on Friday. Remember that upper level trough, large-scale upper-level trough starting to set up over the Great Lakes, the northeast U.S. by the time we get to late in the day on Friday. And look at this cold air mass. This is impressively cold, 20 degrees below normal in Missouri as of Friday morning. A very large area of below normal temperatures sweeping into the southeastern part of the nation and extending into the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, Friday and Saturday will be cool and unsettled in the Mid-Atlantic, in the Northeast U.S., and with all that instability caused by that upper-level trough and the cold air aloft, will be some additional shower activity late Friday night into Saturday across the northeastern quadrant of the nation. Then we get into the weekend. Here we are now by Sunday morning, still colder than normal in the Northeast, in the Mid-Atlantic region, really throughout the entire eastern third of the nation. But notice by Sunday morning we have a warmer than normal air mass setting up over the central U.S., and indeed that slides to the east, and expect a big time warm up by the time we get to Tuesday. This is Monday night and Tuesday morning right here. Big time warm up in the eastern third of the nation by the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, easily reaching the 70s, I believe, for highs on Tuesday in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. But just upstream, yet another cold air outbreak reaching the western states all the way down to the Baja California region by the early part of next week. We move forward, and let's move forward quickly here. It stays warm for a few days in the eastern half of the nation here next week, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But by the time we get to the end of next week, and we're now 7, 8, 9 days out in front of the current time period, we have another cold air mass pushing towards the Mid-Atlantic region, the Great Lakes, by the time we get to Easter weekend. This is the day before Easter on Saturday, April 16th, yet another cold air outbreak possible for the northeastern quadrant of the nation by the time we get to, let's say, Easter Sunday. We're still in the speculation stage here, but let's just now move forward quickly here and see additional outbreaks come in, and as long as you have these kind of clash in air masses, you can have severe weather outbreaks, and unfortunately it looks like that will continue right into the second half of the month of April. This is now going all the way out to the third week in April, with still some cold air outbreaks reaching the eastern and central U.S. Well, let's walk through the surface forecast maps. Again, we have kind of two areas to watch over the next several hours. First, in the Mid-Atlantic Northeast region, we have a continuation of some rainfall. It was a soaking rain event for much of this area in the overnight hours, and continuing this morning across eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York City. And now notice here we talked about the warmer and humid air pumping in from the Gulf of Mexico into the southeast U.S. and at the same time colder air is advancing from the north and west, setting up a possibility of some strong to severe thunderstorms later on today in the southeastern part of the nation. Let's move forward. Here we go by this evening, and here's that area popping up of some showers and maybe some embedded strong to severe thunderstorms. Again, colder air advancing, so cold that it's accumulating snow up across Minnesota, maybe even at northern Wisconsin by later this evening into the overnight hours, and certainly up across southern part of Canada. That cold front brings some more rain into the eastern states on Thursday and Thursday night. It can be an embedded strong thunderstorm mixed in on Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. Let's say D.C., Philadelphia, maybe as far north as New York City. And look at this cold air outbreak for the center part of the nation. This is just a long fetch of first northeast winds and north to northwest winds, pushing cold air all the way into the heartland of the nation by the time we get to midday on Thursday. And that cooler than normal air mass sets up shop here in the northeast for Friday and Saturday. And low pressure forms along that cold frontal boundary zone. This is by late tomorrow night. By the way, let's backtrack a little bit here. This is Thursday evening. Opening day for baseball takes place on Thursday. And certainly the weather will not cooperate in the Mid-Atlantic region, the Northeast U.S. If there's a game scheduled, I think the Nationals have their opener on Thursday afternoon, and the Yankees may as well on Thursday afternoon. Certainly not a cooperative weather scene here. Possibility of some showers for many of the openers in the northeastern part of the nation Thursday afternoon and evening. Doesn't get a heck of a lot better on Friday and Saturday as well. This is Friday afternoon. The Phillies have their home opener 3 p.m. on Friday afternoon. They'll probably get it in, but there certainly can be a couple of showers. Watch here the expansion of the shower activity by the time we get to Friday evening. They'll probably, again, get the game in on Friday afternoon in Philly, but don't be surprised if a couple of showers pop up during the game later in the afternoon into the evening. The atmosphere will just be so unstable with the cold air aloft and the daytime heating for the first few hours of the morning. Increasingly strong sunshine boosts those low-level atmospheric temperatures, and it creates quite a bit of instability. Expect showers to pop up, maybe not in the morning on Friday, but by afternoon and evening there will be an area of showers, instability type showers, and that cool, unstable kind of weather, unsettled kind of weather will continue. This is Saturday afternoon. It'll be cold enough for some snow showers up across those higher elevations, western part of the Mid-Atlantic, places like West Virginia and western and northern Pennsylvania, maybe upstate New York as well. We're talking Friday night and Saturday. Again, the possibility of some lake effect type snow showers in those normally colder, higher elevation locations on the western side of the northeast U.S. and the Mid-Atlantic. It stays cool in the northeast right through the upcoming weekend. And here we go. By the time we get to Monday morning, you can see the beginnings of a big-time warm-up first in the central part of the nation and the Ohio Valley by Monday morning. And once this high shifts off the coast by Tuesday, warmer air will flood the eastern third of the nation. By the time we get to Tuesday, again, high temperatures probably back into the 70s by Tuesday in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. So a lot going on, and it looks like the active weather pattern with additional severe weather outbreaks will continue for the next couple of weeks. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.